This is how I wanted to start my morning. That is a big, those are big leaves.
Yeah. 52.
It is day 11. Got a couple miles to Red Pass, about 5 miles to Red Pass, which is the other somewhat concerning pass aside from Fire Creek, which wasn't too bad. And word on the trail is Red Pass is looking pretty good. So, feeling pretty optimistic. Going to stop and get some water here in a moment. I think on the agenda for today is about 21 miles. There's just so many beautiful waterfalls here. Heading up to Red Pass, and I lost stats. I had to stop and dig a cat hole, but unrelated. Not really feeling the best right now at the moment. I almost feel like my blood sugar dropped. Kind of like I'm bonking. So I had some Cheez-Its to get my carbs back up. And, but I also had a sugary breakfast this morning as usual. Mixed in with some proteins and fats, but predominantly sugar to help me get going and be moving. But yeah, this morning I'm feeling a little shaky, like jittery. Also just had some caffeine. A relatively small dose of caffeine. But maybe that's it, or a combination of the two. I don't know, maybe my body's just tired. I'm now about maybe a half mile further than I was in the last video, and I'm feeling better. It usually takes about give or take 15 minutes for your body to start, or at least my body, to start digesting carbs, processing them, and for me to get that sugar from them. So Cheez-Its came in clutch. Right there, that little dip can be Red Pass, and it's looking pretty good. Nothing dangerous coming up here. No bad snow. Just some very small fields like this. So this is the backside from Red Pass. A little bit of snow. It looks much worse than it actually is. It's pretty low consequence.
Yeah, I totally saw one earlier.
Considering that this is a snow bridge, I'd say this is probably the most sketchy thing. It's not super steep. It looks worse than it is, as usual. But yeah, the fear would be busting through that bad boy. That's not very thick. I decided to push on. The site at White Pass wasn't the best for taking lunch, so pushing on to Reflection Pond, and gonna try to eat lunch there. But I'm hiking in silence for a while, which I think is good. It's nice to not avoid where you're at sometimes. And on the uphills, best believe I'm popping in them. headphones, but right now it's peaceful. It's nice. So, and that my cravings are evolving and developing, and new ones are a basket of Texas Roadhouse rolls, that cinnamon butter, and I mean maybe 2 baskets, but then a Sonic slush, like an ocean water slush, would be just outright hitting the spot right now. Oh yeah. The hours out here go by pretty slow for the most part. The days fly by. As I said, today is day 11, and you know I'm getting close to 2 weeks. It hasn't felt like 2 weeks, but here I am, 150 miles in, and it's just I think what happens is the days are, you're so engaged with what's going on that the days just almost drag on, but not in a bad way. You're just experiencing so much more than you would in everyday life, and you're having to pay attention and, as I said, be engaged with where you're at. You can't really go into autopilot the whole time, whereas when you're at work, to a degree you can. It's just the same stuff over and over again, more or less, and I just let your mind and body do whatever it does. As here, you got to be in the game, and you got to be staying as positive as possible, and not letting things get to you. You know, suffering through the climb, and the weather, and whatever it may be. And then at the end of the day, it feels like 2 or 3 days have passed. Where you know, think back, and you're like, man, that was just this morning. And so I think that's just a big part of it, where the days just pass by and pass by and pass by. You know, next thing you know, you're 2 months in or so. But every day is its own episode, its own thing, and has its own series of challenges and events and surprises. And I think that's something that we usually just miss in life. Lake Sally Ann. I don't see a reason not to take a swim. Had a nice little swim in Sally Ann Lake. It feels good to get clean, or at least feel clean. And, like, get all the grease out your hair and whatnot. So, got 4.5 miles to camp. Mostly downhill, but a little bit of roller coaster to start off with. So, yeah. It was a good day. It was a tough climb this morning, but all in all, a good day. Morning, y'all. It's day 12, I believe. I've got about 21 miles to do today. Stats took off a little bit early. I slept in some, so it's barely, but it's already 7, and barely just got started. Those stairs. Kinda. I don't know what's up with the PCTA or Forest Service, or whoever does this stuff. They do things in the weirdest places. Like, I've walked up much steeper stuff than this. in the past day. Check out these massive boulders. It's 9:45 and about 8 miles in. Having to go and get off trail to go find some water. Just a little distance away from the trail. There's a campsite with a spur trail, so it's a pretty dry little area that we're in up to Grizzly Peak, so I might have to get it from a lake, and it'll likely be some of the worst water that I get. But be okay. I'm well ahead of Stats. He said his knee's bothering him. He left a hiker text in the dirt. I think I found my water. It's so bugsy. So many bugs. Yeah, it's rough looking. Yeah, I'm getting away from this water as quickly as possible. Because Jesus, is there so many mosquitoes and bugs. Like, trying to go in my ears and my eyes and nose and all that. Almost to the top of Grizzly Peak, and I was hiking with my head down for a while. Didn't notice that Glacier Peak. It's right there behind me. Took a very brief lunch. Just had some mashed potatoes with chicken, and it was horrid. The mosquitoes are just eating us alive. Ooh, it's been a climb. This trail has become pretty rocky, and at times also muddy coming up here. So, I said everything's been pretty good though. Still making decent time, but I'm starting to get tired. I think I'm almost halfway up. There's the mud I was talking about. But yeah, oof, feeling it. Starting to feel it. That's what's left of my Cheez-Its. I guess you can't really see, but I mean all that. This sweat. Oh man, a mile and a half from the top, and this is what's gonna get me there. There's still one whole Cheez-It in there. Look at that. Lucky guy. I can tell I'm getting pretty close to town, to the trailhead, because I'm starting to see more day hikers, and I don't mind them. They smell good, but what I do mind, hikers, whether you're through section, day, weekender, doesn't matter. All of us can agree that we give uphill right away, and that goes for both parties. I don't care if you're a through hiker, section, weekender, etc. It doesn't matter. If I'm coming downhill, if you're going up, I'm going to move out of the way for you, and vice versa. So, the only exception for that is horses. Because you don't mess around with horses. Just let whoever's on a horse tell you what to do. And just like that, all my major climbs are done for this section. I've got about 4 miles to the lodge and about 1,300 feet of descent with a little bit of roller coaster somewhere in between. But yeah, that's it. It's I think about 2:30, so I'm pretty much on schedule with what I wanted. I still haven't seen Stats in a while, but I have no doubt that he's less than an hour behind me. So we'll be reaching the lodge this evening. So my knee is causing me a bit of an issue. It's nothing I haven't experienced before. It's just my IT band is tightening up and kind of putting pressure on my kneecap. So once I get to the lodge in about half a mile, I'll take a shower and I'll probably take about an hour and just stretch out, stretch my legs and hips and glutes, and just loosen up, relax more than anything. Pretty glad that today is about done. It's been a tough section, you know, and then today to finish off with about 24 miles and 5K, 5,100 foot of elevation gain. It's been a challenge, but it felt good. Feet looking